Hello, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Tonight we're working on the Aurifil block of the month, February's block of the month by Kathy Ross here. This is all going to be thread painted, so we are working on applique today. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together for about an hour. We are live, and I work on projects from beginning to end so you guys can be part of the process along the way. So thank you for coming in. I see you popping in. That's awesome. We are going to continue on the Kathy Ross. We're going to do the thread painting applique. This is for the Aurifil block of the month. We're working on that the fourth week of every month. So here we are, fourth week of February already. And this is where we got last night. We got our template made out here, and we are cutting all the tiny little pieces. So this is actually a petal on one of those poppies, if you can believe it. So we are going to continue getting all of our pieces onto our fabric tonight. And I'm hoping that we can actually get our poppy laid out on our background fabric. If we can get that far, that would be amazing. So that is the plan. I'm going to flip you guys around and we'll get started. Just a reminder, but this week is the last week that you can get our embroidery of the month. So every month I release a new embroidery and it's only available for the month. It's the houseplants this month, and it'll come to you right in your email right away, and it's available just through the 29th. You get an extra day this year, and then we'll get a new one on March 1st. So last reminder, end of the week, and that will be done. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around, and we'll get going on this applique. Let's see if we can get this done here tonight. All right, so again, I have on the iPad here, this is the pattern. So I've downloaded this off of the Aurifil website. So Aurifil is that company that makes that floss that a lot of quilters like using. It's this floss that comes, the 50 weight, which is what people use for quilting often, comes on that orange spool. So whenever you're on Instagram and you're seeing a quilter use this orange spool, it's Aurifil thread. So they have those colored spools like this. And they are having this quilt along. They are releasing a new one every month. I'm going to be one of the designers, so I'm excited for that. My month is July. So come July, we'll be stitching mine. This is February's. It's by Kathy Ross, and it is this gorgeous thread painted poppy. And what I mean by thread painted is, first, this is appliqued on, so, just pieces of fabric, raw edge applique, like what we're working on here. And then all of these pretty lines, even all of this black in here, all of this texture is done with thread on the sewing machine. So she's just moving the piece around on the sewing machine. It's like scribbling on the sewing machine. So I have never done that before. I'm very excited to get to that part. I think it's just exciting. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So here she's done some lighter color thread and some darker color thread on here just to get all of those little bits. So I'm stoked. So I have the pattern up. It's going to help me right here, like what fabric is what, because we have these all labeled. So that's just going to help me when we do our applique here. So I'm going to leave this up next to me here. And then we cut all of our applique out yesterday. And we did this on the... okay, hold on, guys. My thing keeps dropping here. Okay, so we cut these out on our Steam Seam 2. I threw a link to this if you want to give this a try. So this is a fusible web. And a fusible web is kind of what you need for raw edge applique. So what you do is you iron on that fusible web to one side, the wrong side of your fabric, Then you peel the other side off and fuse it to your second fabric. So it's kind of like a two-sided glue, basically. So you're gluing it to your applique piece, and then you're gluing the applique piece to your background fabric. This is my background fabric here. So that is the raw edge applique, and the edge stays raw. We just cut this, so it's not folded over, it's not tucked under, so it's just the raw edge of the fabric. So that's what we used for that, the Steam-A-Seam 2. The special thing about Steam-A-Seam 2 that's different from a normal fusible web is that it's actually a sticker as well. So when we pull off this paper backing, we'll be able to stick all of our pieces in place, and they'll all kind of be stuck down, and they won't be, like, if we sneeze, they're not all going to fly away, and they'll all be stuck down before we do our final iron press, which permanently fuses it to our fabric. So that stickiness is just kind of a nice special touch that's going to help us later. So we got these two pieces done last night. These are our dark red fabrics. Here's our other. So we needed a dark, a medium, and a light. I did them pretty close. They're pretty close. So this is just sort of darker than the rest. I kind of wanted them pretty close in colors because that's kind of what it looked like in the example. I kind of like that, where they're all very similar. But I suppose this is darker than this, so that's kind of what we're going by. And then we got our green here. I am going to put stabilizer on it. So I have a very kind of like drapey background fabric. It is not quilting weight cotton. That's probably a bad idea. It was probably not the greatest move for this project, but I thought it was really pretty and I liked it and I wanted to use it. So it is more drapey. So I will definitely, before we do the like free motion thread painting where we have to move it around a lot without it moving, I am going to put a stabilizer on the back. So I looked around my house tonight and I found this. This is the Pellon Fuse and Tearaway embroidery stabilizer, and I think I'm going to use this. This is kind of what I got. The other thing I have is this fusible shear weight, but this kind of stays on forever. This I can kind of tear away what I don't need, and it's actually a little bit bigger. So I think I'm gonna give this a try. I'm trying to use something that I already have at home here, so we'll see how this works. This is 12 inches, so it's close to our full design. It'll actually cover the part that we're gonna stitch. So I think we're gonna use this. So we'll fuse it to the back of our background fabric, which will just give it a more heft, which will make it easier to move around when we actually are doing our thread painting. Again, I have not done thread painting before, so we will experiment and see how it goes. So I'm banking on this right now, and then we can tear away all the excess after. So it's fuse and tear, meaning it fuses with the iron to stick onto it. So it irons on, and tear is how it comes off. So it rips away. Whenever you're looking at stabilizer, you're looking at how it goes on, how it comes off. This goes on with an iron. It comes off by tearing it off. Sometimes it will go on because it's sticky and it'll wash away. So like our stick and stitch that we use for embroidery, that's a stick-on wash-away stabilizer. This is a fuse-on tear-away stabilizer. So you're always thinking, how does it go on? How does it come off? So I think this is what I'm going to use. I think this might be what'll work for us. If not, we'll find out, because, we'll give it a go. All right. Oh, Charlotte, that's what you found too. I suspect it's going to work. We'll see, because what we really need to do, our goal, it's good to think about what your goal is really with the stabilizer. The goal is that this becomes less floppy, really. Because look, even if I go like this, it's bunching up. And we're going to be moving this around so much when it's in the machine. I don't want it to stretch like this at all. So by fusing that stabilizer to the back, we'll have like a more secure surface. and then we can get rid of that surface later. Like we'll be able to tear it away from the back. If it stays on the back of our applique pieces, that'll be okay. Um, but it's just to kind of give our background fabric structure. So I think that's going to work. I'm hoping that's going to work. That's the game plan right now. But first, we got to get all these applique pieces done. So this is D10, D1. We labeled these last night, so you can check out last night's video. The D refers to the color, so the D is the dark red fabric, and these are actually the only two pieces that were on the dark red. So those can kind of just sit to the side for now. We've kind of grouped them all. So here's all our C pieces. Here's all these B pieces. I hope I still have them all here. We'll see. So I'm going to set the B pieces aside. And then we have the A pieces. So there's a couple A pieces. That's our big, A is green. So this is our like leafy stuff. So we'll do that at some point here too. Let's just do C. I have them right here. I'm going to move my background fabric. For now, we'll finish up these first. I have my iron on. It is ready to fuse. Okay, so C, let's look. Okay, C is the light red. And I think I'm using this as my light red. I know these are pretty close, but I'm considering this my light red. So these get fused to the back of the fabric. Remember that our pattern is in reverse. So we got all these by tracing, like where's C11 on here? C7. This is C7. So right here. So this is this shape right here. We got all these by tracing it onto the stick and stitch. So here was our original pattern. It's labeled. It's labeled by color. We added the numbers so we could keep track of each piece as well. Just an extra indicator. So that came from here. And so this is actually in reverse. So when you do raw edge applique, oftentimes the pattern is in reverse. It's going to be flipped. So you can see here like that short one. This is a finished one. That short flower is actually on the right, where on here, the pattern here, the shorter flower is on the left. So this is actually going to be, think of it as flipped. So think of this going on the back of your fabric. And that's what we're going to do here. It's going to go on the back of this fabric. So let's just undo this a bit. There we go. Okay. So again, this is that stick and stitch. So on other fusibles, you won't have a paper back here. This is just going to feel like the glue dots, the like glue surface. In the stick and stitch, it has paper on both sides. So I have to take off this paper. And there you can see that's the fusible web part of it. This is just a paper backing. That's garbage. And this is also sticky. That's kind of the neat feature of this Steam-A-Seam. All right, so I'm just going to place it on here. I don't think it matters which way it goes. I'm going to just stick it right there. And so that's great. So this isn't going to blow away. It's stuck on. We will fuse it permanently on with the iron, but at first I can just stick them on. Let's get this second piece. So everything that has a C on is on this fabric here, the light red fabric. So let's peel away these other bits. Come on, guy. There we go. You're using the Sulky Tearaway Stabilizer for the background. That's cool. You'll have to let me know how that works out. I think we'll just, I'm trying to use, the least amount of space as I can here. I think we'll just tuck up the other two pieces up in here. So I think I am getting a little bit of this glue, this fusible glue on my iron. When I turned my iron on, it smelled a little burny, a little plasticky, so I'm probably going to have to clean my iron a little bit when I'm done with this. But oh well, whatever. I'll just deal with that. Deal with that later. But yeah, this fusible, you don't want to accidentally like fully put this whole thing on your iron. It's just gonna melt to your iron, and then you'll have to clean your iron off. All right, I think we'll just go like right there. Okay, so we really only used up this much out of all this fabric, which is awesome. Oh, let's fuse it first. So you might forget because it's stuck on here with the Steam-A-Seam that it's actually not fused. The sticky just allows us to have it stuck down without it being permanent. So I can take this off still and move it around, and we will do that a lot when we are putting it together later. So it's a nice feature because I can put down pieces without it blowing away, but it's not permanently fused yet until we get the iron out, and now we'll fuse it. And again, it just takes about, I don't know, 7 to 10 seconds. It shouldn't take really that long. I'm sure this is plenty fine. It's going to get fused again when we go on the background, so it'll be like double fused. I'm not too worried about it. All right, let's cut it out. So first I'm just going to cut it away from the larger fabric, just so we're not dealing with the big bulk of the fabric. All right, so we're completely done with this fabric. Oh, look how bright and pretty that is. I love it. All right, that can go down on over here. All right, so this is, oh, look how dirty it is. So this is because my iron got some of that glue on. So my iron is pretty dirty right now. I am going to have to clean it when we're done with this. So we'll have to figure out a good way to clean it. But yeah, we'll do it through this project. But yeah, we're going to need to clean it off. Okay, so this is why we're going to cut these out now, but we're going to cut it directly on this line. So that's why earlier we didn't cut perfectly along our pencil edge, because we're going to do that now. Now is when we have to do that nice, perfect cutting, because that's going to be our final edge. So we want that just, we want that as perfect as we can get. Whereas before, we could just cut it really easily, really rough around the edge. All right, so I'm going to just actually cut out a shape first, just so it's away from the other pieces. Again, it's just easier to cut when it's the only piece. And now we're going to cut really, really well around there. Oh, happy birthday! That's nice. All right, so you can see I'm definitely going slower and being more careful when I cut these shapes out. It's actually probably for this particular project doesn't matter so much because this flower is really organic looking. It's got really soft, wavy edges and stuff. So if you get the wave a little off, it's still going to look just as good. Whereas some other project, you might have to be really precise at this point. Again, I think in this case it's not going to matter so much. But I'm still going to try and get on those lines as best I can. I always like turning it over after because you have just this pretty fabric in a fun shape there. So isn't that fun? That's going to be somehow a part of this flower somehow. We'll see. But that's our first piece. So this is what we're doing tonight. We are fusing on the fabric like this and slowly cutting out all the pieces. But I think we'll be able to actually start putting together our actual flower later tonight, and I'm pretty excited about that. We'll actually see what all these oddball shapes look like together. That'll be fun. I'm always reminded, I know I've talked about this before, but I'm always reminded when I cut out things like this about in kindergarten. I clearly remember this. This was a kindergarten aha moment, was when the teacher was like, move the paper, not the scissors. Because I must have been cutting like this. And that triggered like such an aha moment that every time I'm cutting out something, I still remember I was standing up even. I remember that I was standing up cutting out a piece of paper and I move the paper instead of the scissors. That's some knowledge. That's some good teacher-in right there. All right. There we go. Another little pretty piece. Oh, Bonnie, I don't know if you can hear me, but just try coming out and coming back in because I don't think it's on my end this time. Mine will save. My connection is kind of low. Or these are little pieces. Oh, I think these are kind of like the inside little pieces of like a petal. We're seeing like the underneath of the petal just a little bit. That's what this represents, I think. It's kind of hard to hold. I almost need like a tweezers to hold it. As long as I don't chop my finger off, we'll be good. It's a little curvier there. There we go. Whew. So I got to keep my scrappy pieces out of the way so I don't accidentally mix them up with all these funny shaped applique pieces. All right, this is our last C piece. We'll move on to our B pieces. We'll do the green last for no particular reason. All right. I think these are our smallest pieces for this. Oh, it's been doing several times already. Oh, Bonnie, I don't know why that is. I mean, well, that super sucks. It will be on replay, so it'll be on Penguin and Fish Crafters on YouTube, or I mean Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube after, but yeah, that's not fun. Oh yes, Gretchen, don't worry about redoing these. Again, this is like a really fluttery, flowy flower, so that's some alliteration for you. So it's not going to really, wherever you end up putting these, it's going to end up looking floral, I think. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, we're done with the C pieces. Next up, we have all of these B pieces, and B is just normal red. So this represented light red. This represented dark red. Hopefully I didn't lose any of these. Stuff got a little shimmy down my table last night, so hopefully I have all my pieces yet. I should have 15 pieces. Let's just count up quick. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Okay, good. All right, we're safe still. Okay, this is our medium red, or just our plain red. Let's scooch these out of the way. Okay, so same thing. These need to be fused to the back of the fabric here. So I'm just opening this up. We're hardly using any of this fabric, so that's kind of fun. Come on, dude. Ah, there we go. Sheesh. Okay, so let's just try and get in this little area again. I'm not bothering really ironing it or anything because we'll iron it when we fuse it down, and I am trying to just fit it in a small space. So, all right, let's just grab one to go. All right, I'm not taking, with the Steam Seam, sometimes it gets confusing because they both have paper sides. That's not typical of fusible web. Usually there's one paper side that you draw on, and the other side is clearly the glue side. In this case, it's both paper, so you want to remember to keep the paper on the one that you drew on, and take the one off of the side that you didn't draw on. But with Steam Seam, sometimes it wants to stick, the glue part wants to stick more on one side than the other, so you got to make sure that stays. So I'm just gonna, this one kind of wants to flop off, but it's staying well enough. Okay, let's get that right there. Again, this sticks down, which makes it easy. I don't have to lightly place all the things and hope it doesn't move before I press it. It fully sticks down. This is a little tricky getting this first little, getting the little papers off. All right, I don't know, let's go right there, I suppose. Ooh, this guy might fit right up in there. Let's do that. Get a fingernail in there. There we go. Oh, this is going to be just so pretty, I think. Right up to the edge, not wasting anything. This one kind of can tuck around, kind of funny. Let's do that. I'm getting like glue stuff all over my fingers. All right. I think me wiping my hand on here is kind of smudging the pencil lines a little bit. I could have probably done this with pen. That would have been fine. Less smudgy. All right, let's get this guy in there. And I think that's it for the B pieces. Great, let's fuse those. I don't know if you're going to get a March embroidery hint. All right, I suppose, oh gosh, you just trick me in this stuff. So here, the hint is, it's going to feel more springy and summery real soon here with the embroidery of the month. So how about that? There's your little hint for March. Can't believe it's going to be March. Crazy. Spring. I'm feeling it. Let's get it. Let's get these daffodils growing. Let's get all these things happening. I'm ready for it. All right. I'm just gonna trim this out of the fabric so I just don't have all this bulk hanging out here. Ooh, this fabric is really pretty too on its own. I had some fun fat quarters hiding in that bin. I'm excited. It's all just gonna look so pretty on this thing all together. All right, trim that guy out. This is an oddball shape. They're all odd shapes, aren't they? And that's what's gonna be so interesting when we put these back together. It's not intuitive for sure. We're gonna have to look at our flower pattern again just to see where all these pieces go, because it's just funny shaped petals that all kind of blend together. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It'll be fun though. So this is already kind of coming off. Oh, so it is, all right, I was worried that maybe, I think that my fusible is a little old, so the paper isn't sticking very well, but I was worried that it was stuck to the paper and not the fabric, meaning I didn't fuse it long enough, but that little paper was coming off, and it was fused to the fabric, so I'm hoping we'll be good. If you try and take this next paper off in a little bit, like we will, and you find that it's stuck to the paper and not the fabric, press it for a little longer, so it's not totally fused. You want to get it fused so that it sticks onto the fabric, not your paper. We will get there though. You saw the first doves today, Arlo? Wow, that's nice. I'm hearing birds chirping, but I don't think I've seen any robins yet or anything. In the Midwest, robins are like the key to spring. All right. Ooh, look how pretty that is. These are just going to be really fun together. So here's like, a little flower, I guess. That's what they're going to look like together, these guys. It's going to be just neat. It'll be fun to see it with all the pattern versus just solid colors. That's something that isn't so ingrained in me, like the idea of having a bunch of pattern stuff represent a color versus just solid colors. So the like putting patterns together, that doesn't come naturally to me. So it's always kind of exciting to see what they end up looking like together. Ooh, there's a lot of little wiggles in this one. Going slow here. Ugh, I feel like, yeah, the glue, all this glue is getting on my scissors too. I'm gonna have to clean my scissors. This fusible web stuff is just kind of getting everywhere. It's kind of not fun. I know we've talked about ways to clean the iron before, and we've done it here, but I don't even remember. Did we just use vinegar? We might have just used vinegar. That should do the job. I'll get some, like a rag with some vinegar out when we're done here, and we'll give this scissors a wash and give the iron, wipe off the iron a bit. I think that's how we did it before. Oh, yeah, for sure, Pat. Like, yeah, if you didn't watch last night's video, this all might be a little confusing. All we did is we traced our fusible pieces. That's these. We traced our fusible pieces. We traced the pattern. So we traced those pieces from the pattern, and now we're doing the next step, which is fusing them to the back of the fabric pieces. But yeah, it probably would be helpful to watch yesterday's video, and that's up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. Oh yeah, Mr. Cleanery Eraser. Yeah, that's right. We talked about that. Did I do that last time? I don't think I have one of those. I might have to just have one of those on hand for cleaning this stuff, because I bet you that works fabulously. All right, so then this one we have all these cute little spikes in the bottom of this bud, so I want to make sure to get those super well. Let's see, I think I'll just kind of snip right in there like that. That should do it. There we go. Yeah, okay, this is working. Getting little spikes in there. Itty bitty pieces. This is a really nice scissor, so it is good to get. It works well getting right to the point. This scissors. Okay, that guy's done. Get all these little pieces out of our way. Okay, a couple more here. Oh, and then we just have the green. Oh, we're totally gonna get this kind of laid out, I think. Some looks like an oddly shaped South America or something. Africa. Oh, some Robin stay and some go. Oh, I didn't know that. So I'm sorry, you guys. I'm missing kind of a lot of the comments tonight more than usual, just because I am just watching this line that I'm cutting out. Can't look up as often. Oh gosh, I wiped off a lot of this. Oh gosh, where is this even? Is there a big bump like this? I gotta check. It looks like I wiped off with like my hand a whole lot of the outline here. This is B8 over here. Oh yeah, that is a pretty big bloop in there. So I thought that's what this looked like, but again, I think I smeared my pencil lines kind of a little bit. All right, I think like that's looking good. Yep, I'm smelling my iron right now, which means that some of this glue has gotten on there, but nothing we can't totally fix. Oh, on the Aurifil site, they show pictures of each month's area. Oh, yes. Oh, they showed, I didn't know that they actually showed every month. So July is very green, like the fields of Tuscany. So Tuscany, you have sleuthed that out, Jenna. Tuscany is my city that I get to work on. So, again, we are working on the Aurifil block of the month, and their theme is Colors of Italy. So every designer that's working on it, there's a different designer for each month, and I get to be one of the designers for this project. So my design is July, and each designer got a color palette and a city. So July is Tuscany, so that is new. So Jenna has figured that out. So July is Tuscany. That's my month. I don't know if they've released the colors or not for that yet, so I'll keep that secret. I'll have to peek at that some more. So Tuscany, and then I also have a color palette. So that is my theme. So it has to do something with the color palette or something with the place. The color palette and the place is basically for inspiration. So that is what the designers get beforehand here. So like for the first month was gray, so that was all grays. This is reds, and they have to do with Aurifil has released these the color builders. So they have released these cute little packets of three things of thread, and all in a very similar color palette, but like a light and a medium and a dark, or some pretty colors within that color palette, and they call it color builders. So this is all around their color builders palettes, and so that's why each month is a different color. This is red this month, so this is the red color builder. All right, so I'm scooching these all out of the way for a sec because we are done with all the reds, and now we got just these green bobbies left, and this guy's pretty big, right? This is our whole kind of structure of our flower. Like me just even laying this down here, all of a sudden these blobs turn into flowers, right? So we have 4 little pieces that are the green, and that's our last fabric here. So this is what I'm going to use for the green. Okay, so same deal. Back of the fabric. Oh, I suppose I do need a smaller scissors. I just freaking love this scissors, though. This is a dressmaker scissors. It's that professional Kive, that 7200 series. It just cuts everything like butter. You can get right up to the tip, and it cuts perfectly. I do have smaller scissors that would work lovely, but man, whenever I can, I use the scissors. It's awesome. Not cheap. But I love it very, very much. I feel like I'm kind of collecting scissors at this point. All right, so this one, since I do have a kind of a large piece, I think I will just give this a quick press. Get some of these. Oh gosh, see, it's even hard to move this now. It's definitely sticky. We'll have to, gosh, maybe I'll clean this after tonight, really. Let's see. Oh yeah, all this dark, like all this up here, that shouldn't be there. That's what's making it like it's not gliding very well. And like I said, I can smell it, so that's no good. But all right, this is a little flatter. Look at this piece up in here. So let's take that backing piece off. Oh, I can't wait to start putting this together. And I do think we'll get to that tonight yet, because this is our last color. I mean, this will take a little bit to cut out. Maybe we'll at least stick it down or start sticking it down. Maybe we won't do the final fuse yet. Or I don't know, maybe we'll get the whole thing done. We'll see. Okay, I've got to be careful to make sure that that fusible stays on the right side of this paper. Okay, I think I'm just going to tear this. There we go, that worked better. Ooh, sticky, sticky. So normally this isn't sticky. I'm just using that Steam-A-Seam 2. This particular product has this stickiness to it. And again, that's going to be helpful. Like right now, I can stick this down and it's not going to, blow away on me. Okay, I think we're all stuck. It's not permanently fused. We still do have to fuse it, but while we work with other pieces, this isn't going to blow away. Gosh, this piece isn't staying very well, but we'll be cutting that out soon. Let's get these 2 little pieces. I think we can tuck these in up here. Oh, lots of delicious red wine in Tuscany. Yeah, look at I'm getting all that glue all over my fingers. We'll be almost done with this part though. I'll be happy when we're done with the fusible stuff. I do like when all these puzzle pieces come together, but I don't think that fusible or like the raw edge applique, I'm not sure that's my favorite process in the world. It is a fun, quick way to get an embroidery done quickly, though. Oh shoot, this is coming off. Use a layer of parchment paper on top of the fusible so it doesn't get... Oh, that's a great idea, Linda. I'm going to do that for sure when I press the front. Let's see, do I have any? I think I have some right behind me here. Oh, I do. Great. So I do have some parchment paper, so I will just tear off a piece. That's a great idea. I'm in my dining room in my kitchen, so I have parchment paper nearby. But that's great. So I will lay this down, and especially when I'm on the good side of the paper, I don't want like any smudges from the iron being dirty getting all over my stuff. So that's good. Good idea. So again, my Steam-A Seam is a little old, and remember it was a little bubbly. I think that's making it not want to stick on the other side very well. So that's annoying a little bit. Let's tuck this in here. All right, we're looking good. Let's fuse this. All right, let's get this permanent. Oh, I think my iron turned off, and I'm actually going to rotate this a little bit. It doesn't all fit on my ironing mat here. So we'll go like this. Okay, what color is C7? Anything that's C is that light red color. Okay, fuse all that. Oh, you love raw edge fusible. Oh, you know what? Let's throw this on already. Why not? Oh, for wallet, but not so much for a quilt. Oh, that's interesting, Dawn. I don't know. I like finished edges, and I don't like using all this product like the fusible web. I like when it's like pure thread and fabric and a needle, but how fast this goes is kind of worth it. Fusible applique has definitely got to be like the fastest applique style. All right, so I might have to have this on a little bit longer because now we're going through this paper too, but gosh, even already it slides better just because it's on the paper. My iron slides better. You really kind of have to hold it here. But this will be nice, especially on the front, because I don't want my dirty iron, my now kind of dirty iron, to get smudges on the front of the fabric. I don't want that nice. Yeah, you're right, Dawn. It does feel stiff when finished. Yeah, because you do have this extra piece of material here. So I agree. It's a quick, easy way to do applique where you can get like your I finished a thing feeling really quick, which, is important. It's important to get that feeling when you're crafting. Otherwise you're not going to keep crafting, right? So it's important when you need it to get a good, nice, easy finish. But yeah, not my total favorite. Not to say that this isn't enjoyable. I'm really excited about this. I think this applique is going to be so pretty. All right, I think we're fused. Gosh, I almost had a brain freeze. Like, oh my God, did I go on the right side of the fabric? We are still on the wrong side of the fabric, but I freaked myself out for a second there. All right, so again, I'm just going to trim around this. It's annoying when it's part of this whole big, huge piece of fabric that you got to move around. It's much easier. Oh, this is pretty. It's much easier to just get rid of all that bulk. All right, so we are done with this fabric as well. All right, so, oh gosh, look how cute this is all going to look together. I'm just really excited about this. All right, let's trim this out. I think I'm going to do the easy pieces first. Let's get this little leaf kind of separated. Not quite separated. The last little bit. Okay, let's trim that up. Oops, I'm already off my line. All right, I think, what's the best way to do this? I think I might come back. Oh, this is such a weird way to hold the scissors though. Okay, so I'm gonna cut into that little piece. I'm gonna come back around from this way. Oh, this feels weird. This is maybe a bad idea. But I thought maybe I'd come around this way and get into this little area. So we gotta get into these like little points here. All right, I think I gotta finish it up this way. All right. Itty bitty little ferny tips on here. I feel like I'm cutting like with the wrong hand almost by doing it this way. Which makes me think, oh, I must always have the piece on my left side and never on my right side like that. It just feels uncomfortable. But I want to get into these little crevices here. Oh yeah, I could use smaller scissors. I'm going to use this scissors yet. But yeah, I suppose the smaller scissors is a good idea. I do have some really sharp, small scissors like this. But I don't like them as much as this one. This is my favorite scissors. I gotta use this one. But yeah, I suppose it'd probably be less stress on my hand holding a smaller scissors. All right, now I feel like I'm going the correct direction. My fabric's on my left here. Stubborn, yep. That's something sell me. Oh gosh, there's so many little bits in here. So we have quite a bit of these in that really large piece, so that one's going to take a bit of time to cut out. So I suspect we'll just have enough time to cut all these out. We'll kind of plop them on the fabric, but I think tomorrow is really when we're going to have to really work on arranging it. Okay, get rid of all these little extra bits. Ooh, that's pretty though, that little leaf, isn't it? Little flowers. So we're going to be thread painting on top of this a lot, so all the pattern is going to kind of recede into the background a little bit because we're doing all of that stitching on top once we do the thread painting. I'm going to just get rid of these two smaller pieces, and then we'll do that big piece last, I think. I like separating all the pieces out. Yeah, I need to be told, Marion. Use the other scissors. This is the one that cuts like butter the most, though. I like it. And I can do one big round curve like that easily. All right, so this is like the inside of the petal or the flower. Gosh, I don't even remember what that's called. What's that inside part? The center of a flower called? Oh my god, I can't believe I don't know that. I know the stamen and pistils and all that. All right, here's the second one. That's full of garbage. All right, we're on to this big dude here. This is one giant piece, isn't it? All right, you know what? Let's just start somewhere. So all these nice long stems. I feel like I'm in full concentration mode now. The scissors is really good for getting in all these small spaces too, even if it's a big scissors. And again, if this is not perfect, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm going to just even trim this piece off. We're going to be thread painting all over this, and that's going to divert our focus from like if we just cut one weird edge. Now I could have probably split this into a few pieces. I know a lot of you guys did that. Like each leaf do a separate piece. That's probably a very good idea. But on the pattern, it was all one giant piece, and I had never really done that before, so I thought I'd give it a try. My instinct was to cut it into smaller little pieces, but I thought I'd fight that and just see what it would be like to not do that. I'm just cutting little pieces off. I think that's working okay. I just gotta make sure that I don't accidentally cut a piece that's somewhere else. Full concentration mode. We're getting it though. I've never had one of those before. I know what you guys are talking about, but I've never had one of those cakes before. That's like a Louisiana thing, isn't it? All right, another big leaf that we're going around. This I'm not worrying if I'm totally perfect or not. Some of these leaves are a little more spiky than the tracing, but nothing wrong with that. Oops, did I not get that one all the way? Nope. Ooh, yeah, man. This one takes some patience. It's going to be really cool when we're done, though. Yeah, I want to quickly kind of lay some of this out. I know we're running towards the end of our time here, but I want to get this guy cut out and kind of just quickly laid out on the my background fabric. I just need to see what it's going to look like. I'm excited for it. Oh, I got a weird little center shape that I got to cut out here. Gosh, this is taking a while. We might actually go a little over, but I'm not stopping tonight until I get this thing cut out. I'm loving seeing all of your guys's how far you are in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. So if you're new here, be sure to search for the Penguin and Fish Crafters group on Facebook and click join. Everyone is sharing their progress on this and their other projects that they're working on in there, and it's just such a nice group. And it's just exciting to see all your guys' fabric choices for this. It's just, oh, it's gonna be just so many beautiful flowers when we're done. I'm just loving seeing all that in the group. this guy is almost done. Oh, work through one side of this just about. Let's peek. Oh gosh, it still looks a little crazy, doesn't it? Oops, sorry, I hit the camera there. I think I'll do this little insert last. Let's just keep cutting around these pieces. Oh wow, we got quite a bit to go in here. Well, this side is in the way. Whew, all right, made it through that little bit. All right. Gosh, I got scared that I was going to lop off that bud all of a sudden, but we made it. All right, get this excess off. Yeah, there's definitely a ton of cutting on this one, Pat, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I should have maybe done this one first, then the bulk of stuff would have been done, right? Oh, well. We're real close here. We are. I do have that little insert that needs to be cut out of it. Look at all of our crazy scraps, though, here. I gotta just make sure not to mess up my good pieces with the scraps. Oop, that's not quite cut. It's hanging by a thread. Just about there. So all these little spiky fronds that are taking a while. So, you guys, I just want to warn you, I may or may not be here tomorrow. I think I still will be, but it is, John's parents are in town, so I'm not quite sure if we're going to be doing anything tomorrow. But, so, just a little warning. I think I'll be fine, though. Because I want to get this all laid out, and I'd like to start sewing, like, at least get the sewing machine set up, and see if we can get that going tomorrow. But just in case, I just wanted to let you know. All right, we're cut out. I just need to do that little insert there, but let's get rid of all this stuff on the side first. Ooh, and I do want to just kind of lay this out. I know we're getting to time here, but let's do a quick layout. All right, I got to get this little center. So I'm just going to kind of fold this a little bit and cut right in the middle there, and that'll create a hole, and then now I can go in there and kind of snip up the piece. It's a little awkward, but once you get going, it's good again. Last little cuts, really. Oh, and we got another little spiky frond hidden in here. Let's take care of that. It's neat, though. I love the idea that you could just draw a flower out on a piece of paper and then divide it into shapes like this, cut it all out onto fabric, and then scribble on top with some thread. I just love that idea because it does look like it kind of starts from this just sketch, right? And it magically is going to end up being a flower. Whew, look at that piece. That is some crazy. So, all right, I think I'm going to I'm going to move all this and I'm going to lay our fabric right on this pressing mat right away because ultimately I think we will press on here. Should I, do you think I should, I think I will, gosh, I'm trying to decide if we should fuse these to the fabric before we fuse the back on. I think I'm gonna, just because I want to lay it all out. So I'm just gonna shimmy all these to the top now. All right, and I'm not gonna lay it out perfectly now, but I am gonna try and center it as best I can. Let's just kind of see if we can give this a little layout. Mary, that's true. That's nice of you to say. We've been just kind of hanging out and eating at home here, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. But all right, I am really going to try and use this now. I'm going to remove all these pieces, and I'm going to try and lay this out. And we may have to go back and forth with this piece here. But you know what? I think I'm even going to... Oh, remember, this is reversed still. So it was like this, but now we're actually going like this. So this is going to be a little bit tricky. We are going to just kind of have to estimate. So this is about like here. If it's flipped, it's kind of about there. So we're just going to go right like that. I think this is the starting position. So you know what? I think I'm going to just let this be here. We are kind of equidistant from each side here. I think the widest parts are kind of this green area. I think it gets a little bit wider on this side, but let's just kind of leave this here and see if I can pick off some of this. We're going to take the other paper off. So this is the next step. We are taking off the second paper backing. I'm going to actually just tear this right here and stick a little bit of it down. So that's kind of like my starting spot. And now I'm going to kind of lift up the rest of it. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but that can, then a little bit of this, it's stuck. I get the benefit of that this is sticky. That's Steam-A-Seam too. All right, all that paper is off. Let's kind of lay this back down. Kind of gently kind of dangling it all here. Oh, you had to take a picture. Oh, that's a great idea. Charlotte's saying she had to take a picture of this. You can take a picture of this and flip it in your phone. I do have the photo available here yet, the finished photo, so I can just kind of make that big. I'll kind of glance at that as I go as well. But yeah, we are working with like a mirror image, especially when we're gonna look at our color code. But this is a good place to start. We got some green down. I'm just trying to kind of lay it generally flat. Just being gentle. So some things we can do right away. Like this guy should be easy. This is B9, and so B is, what color is that? Is the B? It's this middle. Oh no, it's not that color. It's this middle red color. Where is it? Oh, right here. There we go. That piece at least should be pretty easy. So let's do that. So this is kind of most in front. This will probably go like a little bit behind. So I'm gonna pull this off. And we will tweak this tomorrow. I might actually not finish tonight. I just got curious. I wanted to start putting it down here. But I think we're probably in a pretty good position. And again, we did cut this fabric a little bit bigger. So if everything ends up being a little too low, we'll just cut more off the top when we're done. So that's another benefit of going a little larger. All right, I'm going to just kind of tuck this underneath. Oh, it's so cool already. All right, I love it already. Look at just those two things together. So there is some overlap. We built in some overlap. So we should be kind of good. About right there looks good, doesn't it? So again, another benefit of that sticky fabric, oh, that's just gorgeous. That sticky Steam-A-Seam 2 is that this isn't going to move on me. This would be pretty difficult to do without the stickiness, because this is gonna just it'll keep like just moving around. So with the sticker aspect of it, that's gonna stay until it's fused. Ugh, that is so freaking pretty, isn't it? I'm a little obsessed with just that silly little part right there. All right, let's see if we can build this flower here a little bit. So again, it's the mirror version of this. Okay, so let's just get the pieces we need. We need A5. I'm going to take the papers off as I go, and it's readjustable, so that'll be good. But if I take the papers off now, then they won't be in my way. Okay, so this was the correct A. I already took the paper off, so now my number isn't there anymore, so something to deal with. C12. Okay, C is this color. Nope, C, what does it say? Oh, that's C12. C7's on the other one. Okay, this is the one we need. That'll get kind of, I guess, tucked under like that. Okay, so it goes something like that. Yeah. All right. I'm going to kind of just plop these down. We will definitely be shimmying them around, but I am trying to get them like right side up at least, so I can kind of understand where they go. Just, again, just plopping them down. Okay, B11. All right, right here. So this kind of, yeah, this is pretty difficult with it being backwards. I think this kind of goes down like this a little bit. Actually, oh no, there it goes like that. Wow, like I said, puzzle piece. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get this main one out in front, D10. I think that's going to determine the position. This is going to determine a lot. I should have put this one down first, even though it's most in front. So let's just do that. Oh, this one is not as sticky. See, again, I think my Steam Esteem is kind of getting a little old. It's time to buy some new stuff. I use it enough. I should just buy some. Okay, I guess this kind of goes. We overlap our stem a little bit. Let's just tentatively plop it there. So now this fits a lot better. This kind of, I think it goes like here. Maybe, oh gosh. Let's get these other pieces on here too. So if you guys are having difficulty with this, I'm definitely working my way through it as well. This looks like it maybe goes down a little bit lower like that. We did build in some overlap, so we'll see. Let's just leave it there for now. Let's get the rest of the pieces. So B13. Nope, this is the other one. C7. Here we go. Oh, it's a little smaller piece. B13. It's kind of tucked in underneath like so. All right. Yep, we have another piece hiding in here. We got a couple tiny pieces. I'm going to grab those next. Hopefully I didn't lose them already. All right. Again, this is our most front piece, so I'm going to tuck this under a little bit. So I think that goes kind of somewhere around there. Again, however you end up doing this, remember, this is an organic looking flower. It's going to look okay. And we're going to have all that stitching on top that's going to kind of blend it all together. It's going to make it all right. Okay, C15. That's this uppermost one. This one gets kind of tucked in like that. So let's get that guy on. This one should help determine some things for us, I think. Oh, you bought new Steam Esteem too, and it's still acting old. Oh, interesting. Maybe that's just how it is, which is a bummer. All right, this kind of goes tucked in here. This is supposed to be like the inside of this, like if this petal got flipped around a little bit. So I think that looks good. Now this kind of gets tucked underneath somehow. I think I have this right. Gosh, I don't know. maybe it's tucked way down here. I did leave a lot of extra. Actually, this actually looks kind of right. So I put a lot of extra on that one. Gosh, I think I might even, I'm tempted to fuse this down. Let's get all this tucked underneath. Oh, we have one more piece here. I think we did the most difficult one here first. The most difficult flower. All right, this can go, I think this actually goes like this. Let's move this guy. There, I think we tuck it in right like that. And now this circles around that whole thing and touches underneath this next bit. Oop. There, let's get this back in. You know what, I might commit to this, you guys, just to get it fused. Let's line up this again. I don't know, how are we liking that? Oh, it's pretty. I just looked at it from far away. It's pretty. You know what? I think I better commit to this because this is gonna, I don't want this to just run away from me. So let's just do it. Let's just commit. Why freaking not? Let's just commit to all of this, and then we'll work on that next flower and the whatever next. I don't think there's any harm in this. It looks pretty well centered. It actually looks like we kind of have a lot more down here, but we'll just trim more from down here, right? Let's commit, and then we'll finish this stuff tomorrow. So, all right, I think I'm gonna start, you know what? I'm just gonna straight start by clicking up here. This is maybe a little high. This is it though. This is it's not changing after this. You know what? I think this needs to go up more. Look, I'm putzing with it still. I think this goes out a little further. Let's tuck this in a little bit. Done. I'm just making it like it's just done. Let's just stop. Okay, we're doing it. All right. Oh, the parchment. Yeah, I forgot the parchment. All right, let's lift this up. Oh, good. It's like fused already. The parchment. Yeah, let's get that down. So that's, again, just because I think my iron is a little bit dirty, and this is going to protect it a little bit. So I'm just being a little careful, going over all this green. I'm just doing a quick pass. This will start the fusing, and then, you know, we'll stick on the pieces. We'll hang out on the pieces a little bit longer once we got like an initial squish. Yep, exactly, Gretchen. My block is a little bit bigger, so I do have, like, I made it an inch bigger on all the sides, so we can lop an inch off of the top instead of like a half inch on both sides. So we do have a little bit of leeway. And again, if it's not perfectly exactly in the center, we're gonna survive. We're gonna be okay. I don't think I'm quite all the way on the my pressing mat here. I'm gonna just scooch it all over. All right, so we're putting this all on first, and then afterwards we will stick on our embroidery, our stabilizer to the back. So, which will give this another press. So if we haven't perfectly fused this, we'll be pressing it again and again. Okay. Oh, that is pretty freaking pretty. Oh, so Marion says a tip she was giving at her local quilt shop was to put the Steam-A-Seam type stuff in a baggie to protect it from heat and humidity. Oh, okay, I like that tip. I mean, we get a ton of fluctuation in humidity here in Minnesota, so that's a great idea. I think I will do that with my next batch. I only have a couple sheets left, so I'm going to need more. All right, I'm tempted to just go ahead and do this, but you guys, it is pretty late tonight already, so I think just because that took a little while, let's leave it there for tonight. Tomorrow we will take the rest of these pieces. We got this little leaf too. He's got to plop up here somewhere yet. We got these pieces to do yet. There's our crazy. There it is. Let's fuse that. we'll let this be till tomorrow. So tomorrow we will fuse this down. Again, if I am here tomorrow, so it might be Thursday. So either tomorrow or Thursday, we will fuse this down. We will put our fuse and tear on the back, and we will get all prepped to start stitching. Well, let's pick out our thread, the thread that we want to thread paint with, and we'll get all ready to start stitching, and maybe we'll even give it a try. But this is looking gorgeous. I mean, man, if this is all we did with this and we skipped the thread painting altogether, it would be pretty dang freaking cute. I really love it already. We could just stitch it down and be done. But I do want to try that thread painting. I've never done that before, and I'm really excited to give it a try. So we will definitely do it yet. All right, so that is the plan for either tomorrow or Thursday, but I am like over the moon with how this is looking so far. So I'm going to flip you around, and I will show you how it's looking. All right, hello again, everyone. So, we got this sinking camera again. All right, I want to just show this to you because it's all fused now. Ooh, gosh, actually it's coming off a little bit. So I'll have to fuse it again, but there we go. Ow, it is so pretty. It is so pretty. Okay, I love it so much. It's so pretty. Okay, I cannot wait till we start stitching this. I am going to press it a little bit more. I think some of those bits are coming up a little bit, so I'll do that tonight. And again, this steam machine might just be a little old or a little in humidity, a little too much, like you said. But anyway, I'm digging it. It's looking so good. So we'll finish fusing this down tomorrow or Thursday, and we'll get it done here. I'm really loving it. So again, keep sharing in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. I want to see what fabrics you're using, if you're giving this a try, if you're doing it differently than the thread painting. I'd love to see that as well. So yeah, keep sharing over there. And I will get this up on YouTube tonight at Penguin and Fish Movies. Again, watch yesterday's if this was confusing, because yesterday's was the first couple steps. And yeah, we'll keep going on this and see how far we can get by the end of Friday. Awesome, you guys. Thank you again for joining me here. Be sure to check out Penguin and Fish and hit like and subscribe on YouTube. I'd love that. And I will see you either tomorrow or Thursday. Have a great evening. Good night.